Alright, YouTube, let's try and get things going here with another live commentary battle. These things are always tricky because I never know what I'm going to get, and, sometimes I'll film one of these, and it just may not be what I consider to be the right kind of... I know some of you are always like, oh, a Clan Long player, they're always competing with us, so this ought to be fun. Looks like my army's gone over budget, so let's back some things out, make some adjustments to my army. We were playing on the waterfalls map, so I don't want to go crazy cav heavy here. Spears would probably be a little more helpful, so let's modify my army. Get a couple of Yari Samurai, and maybe just a cheap Yari Ashigaru. I'm going to get some of these veteran matchlock units I have, try and lay down some fire. I've improved their reload speed. One of them I haven't even upgraded yet, so it's like a regular one. But this one has a 40 reload speed, which makes them fairly potent. I definitely wish I had all my lone swords here. I do have several of them. Sword heavy is going to be probably one of my better bets here. That's not quite as sword heavy as I'd like to be, though. I guess I can get one more Nodachi unit here. That'll give my men a pretty potent charge and attack, and then I can back them up with these 9 chevron lone swords that I have. These guys have some pretty sick stats. This one even has 25 charge, which is kind of almost up there with my Nodachi. I really do think they need to nerf the Nodachi a little bit. So here's my army. Hopefully it works out good. I don't really have a skirmishing component besides these matchlock, and that's okay. I can use them to absorb arrow fire, or I can use them to punish my opponent if he's brought a rush army. So either way, it'll work out to where I should be able to get my men into combat with minimal missile losses, hopefully. So let's get this match started. I'm always kind of at a bit of a toss-up when it comes to what to do with missile units. I've played battles where I get ruined by missile units, and I've played battle where my opponent, having brought too many missile units, ruined him. It's just kind of hard to say. It really depends on what you're good at using, and I'm not really the best at using skirmish-heavy armies, because you kind of have to have a real good plan, and you have to know how to micro, unless you're using like a matchlock army, and you can get your opponent to attack you from the front, and then it doesn't take near as much micro-intensive work to win a fight like that, because if you attack matchlock from the front that are pretty good, you're going to be in some big trouble, unless you're using a meat shield where you have like 2 units on loose formation soaking everything up while the rest charge in. But it's still risky business if your opponent has a lot of matchlock, because a lot of matchlock can inflict a serious amount of damage seriously fast, and it's a huge morale blow. Plus you have to be careful about getting your general close to that fight, because they're going to have matchlocks. I mean, there's definite advantages to missile armies. Just because I'm not the best with them doesn't mean that there's not good ways to use them. So yeah, I'll try and do some skirmish heavy battles from time to time, just to bring you some change it up kind of action a little bit. See, I definitely want to capture the sword dojo with my units. I'm less concerned about the other buildings, as they will be a lot less useful to me. I'm going to put my matchlock up front, followed closely by my Yari Samurai. And then I'm going to, of course, back them up with my Nodachi. And I definitely want my Nodachi to get the charge bonus, or else bringing them is pointless. So I have to make sure and get that charge and bonsai activated, or else it's just a big waste of Koku. So that's the thing with Nodachi. Some people are always asking me, well, how do Nodachi stack up against Katana Samurai? If they don't get the charge, they don't stack up well. So that's just something that you need to be aware of. And that should be fairly apparent, but maybe for those of you who haven't figured that out yet, it'll just be some knowledge for you to gain there. Okay, I'm going to keep one unit of spears way back here in the back. My army is pretty stacked up here in kind of a column, not like a single column, but more of a tight formation, and it kind of needs to be that way here in the waterfalls map. I'm assuming my opponent's probably going to rush for the sword dojo. If he does not, then I'll try and attack him. If he's down lower than me, he could go for the archery dojo. It depends on what kind of player he is. It looks like he is also lined up here close to the sword dojo. I want to line up right here so that my matchlocks won't have their view blocked by that building. He has bow Ashigaru, so he does outrange me in a skirmish fight, and he's got his own matchlock warrior monks with a lot of upgrades, and he's got a bow warrior monk. He's got Yari Cav with nice upgrades, and he is running his Yari Cav forward along with his general. We'll see how far he lets them get out and ahead. I'm going to go ahead and actually start running my Great Guard up, if necessary. See if I can make him push his cav back. I don't want his cav to get into my matchlocks. And this might give me an opportunity to disrupt his bow movement and everything as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and push my Great Guard forward just to try and cause that disruption here. Yeah, he's firing his matchlock. That was a good move, man. I took a lot of losses there. But this is going to bunch his army up. And this should give me my own shots with my matchlock. He's taken one unit of Yari Cav over here, so I'm going to pull my spears in that direction. That's kind of a waste of my Great Guard, but hopefully you're going to see my my thinking here.
Our men are running from the battlefield. Shameful display.
Yeah, I really busted up one of his Nodachi Samurai units, so this is kind of worth it for me because he lost a sword unit in that mix. My opponent's units apparently have the long range here, those Matchlock Warrior Monks. I'm going to try and put my guys on loose formation here. This is indeed a dangerous situation. My opponent does not have a lot of spears though, so I'm going to do this kind of in waves.
Our men are running from the battlefield. Shameful display. Our general is in grave danger, my lord.
This is just kind of a disruption move and an attempt to catch his matchlocks off guard. And also, if he charges my spear units here, it's going to leave his men without a charge bonus. Whereas, hopefully I can get the charge bonus with my guys. I do have to be very careful about moving Patchy up. I'm going to bring some spears up near him to... I'm not going to end up getting a whole lot of kills with my Katana Cav. Again, this is mostly just for disruption measures. Again, I want to get the full charge bonus with my men, or at least my Nodachi units, and then I will reinforce with my lone swords. Dang it, I didn't get the charge here with my... This is where I'm going to want to reinforce, right here in the center. I am going to want to get into stand and fight here. It does look like I'm winning this fight. My cavalry disruption was indeed effective, and also the spear disruption there. My spears waste his sword unit's charge and stuff, so that should give me a decisive advantage in the sword department. You can see that my Nodachi charge over in this sector was extremely effective in breaking his men. On the other side, you can see his men are still in this fight because I did not get that Nodachi charge. So that'll kind of show you the effect that that can have.
Our men are running from the battlefield.
This unit right here, his Nodachi Samurai here in the center, is holding up incredibly well. He's got some nice upgrades on these guys. He does have a cav unit right here, but it's pretty depleted, so I don't think it's going to be able to turn the tide of this battle by coming around after my general. His general, I don't know what his general, or that's a matchlock unit. His general's in the midst of fighting. He's got a melee general, so that makes sense. It looks like his units are starting to collapse under the weight of my numbers, though. Those Nodachi Samurai I brought did indeed do well at taking the charge of the enemy units, and now my lone sword, you can see, are the ones who are mopping up most of the kills. The Nodachis are less effective after they've entered combat, but still pretty tough. Like I said, their best bet is to cause the damage on the charge, and that's where they really do the best. Man, his general is really holding out well against all the sword infantry. Usually they don't hold out so well. There he goes. He lost a couple of more men in that unit. He's got his matchlocks here, but they are not firing. It must have been because of the terrain, so that's going to be a disadvantage to my opponent. He definitely wanted these guys firing, as these guys can lay down a terrible, gruesome amount of pain. There he goes. He's hitting Patchy now. So you can see that that caused a lot of damage. In fact, he's probably going to kill Patchy. Patchy's now down to 3 men. There he is. But, you know, he can go ahead and kill Patchy. I've pretty much got this fight in the bag. My opponent just does not have enough men left to win this fight. Although I have to say, his men are really holding out well.
He leaves. Must leave the battle.
It's too bad I didn't rally my troops later in the fight, because then their morale would have stayed stronger after Patchy died. In fact, if you ever think your general's about to die, sometimes that is a good time to rally your troops. But, you know, it looks like I had enough men left here to pull it off, so I didn't really care if he killed Patchy, because having the stand and fight was very necessary. So that was a pretty interesting battle, I think. Hope you all enjoyed it. What mistakes did I make? I probably got a little bit rash with my cav, but as you can see, my opponent's skirmishing units were far superior, so it was kind of necessary for me to use up my cav in a disruption type mode there. What my opponent did wrong was he should have kept his cav out to the flanks and let me get my cav engaged first, and then he could have used his cav to more effectively harass my own army, and my cav would have gotten killed on the front of his army. That's what I would have done if I were him. I don't know if I would have acted exactly the same. My mistakes, I didn't micromanage my Nodachi very well into that fight on the on my left flank, and so I did not get the charge bonus, and you can see how much longer his men held out over there. So yeah, I should have microed those guys in better. I'm sure there's other things I could have done better. If you want to point it out, go ahead down there in the comments. But I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something from these if you're a newer player, or just maybe you're just entertained by watching airplay for whatever reason. So hopefully that's the case also. Let's go ahead and end this battle now that I've saved it and take a look at the stats, and then I'll go on and go film some Iko-Iki campaign for you. So hope you all are excited. I know it's been a few days without videos, but you're going to get several uploads tonight, so it should make up for it, and should leave you plenty to watch. I will be gone tomorrow, Saturday, July the 2nd. I will be home on July the 3rd, and also home on July the 4th. I'm off work, yay. And I was thinking, as kind of a special July the 4th thing, I think I'm actually going to play a Road to Independence campaign on Empire Total War. Just try and beat it pretty quick. You know, maybe make a few long episodes of it as kind of a 4th of July special for those of you who are, you know, celebrating the 4th of July. And if you're not, then if you like Eric Carthage videos, you'll like it. You know, so yeah, it'll be me trying to win the independence from the British, and hopefully it'll be fun for you to watch. Alright, I do not want the veteran Yari-Sam units. Let's see, you can see who got the kills here. My Great Guard, wow, they really cleaned house. One of my Katana Cav units did good. This Nodachi did pretty good. I should have gotten more kills out of those Nodachis though, but they did okay. My Matchlocks Samurai got a decent number of kills here considering how short they were in that battle. This same thing here. Alright, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed that YouTube. A couple of live commentary battles. Probably nothing too special for you there. I mean, it wasn't any world-changing events, but again, I hope you can learn whatever you can learn from watching my battles, or just be entertained, like I said, because that's why I put these up. So you don't have to learn anything if you don't want to. You can just watch it for entertainment value. Good game to my opponent. You can see that he got about the same number of kills as I did. I just had a bigger army, so he definitely fielded a tough army there, and his matchlock were extremely effective. Very good game to him, and I will be back in the future with more videos.